Hello again, friends. It's been about a quarter of a year since I've last produced content for a Bushiroad card game. I'd like to go ahead and say that it's not because I've quit. Things have actually been really hectic in my life. Everything from going on a family vacation, to a hectic work schedule, to my ceiling caving in due to water damage, to my sister almost dying. Things have been pretty rough to say the least. Here are a few general updates on my status, so to speak, for producing content for Bushiroad card games. First thing is first, I will mention that the card game that I've been spending most of my time on is Hearthstone. I've been playing it pretty obsessively for the last 2 months. I've had some insane pack luck, pulling about 7 legendaries just from free packs in the last 2 months, one of which was golden. While the game itself has its own frustrating moments, I found that if I just accept my place as a non-competitive player that can consistently climb to rank 4 or 5 without too much trouble, and enjoy all of the golden cards that I get for it, I can enjoy myself. I don't want to play the game competitively because I don't want to start hating the game. I made that mistake with Vanguard, and I don't aim to make it with any future card games. For those of you curious, I am a Paladin main. I have about 400 ranked wins to getting my Golden Paladin, and I do have a Golden Tyrian Forge ring that I crafted because bling is mandatory. Moving on to Buddyfight. I love Buddyfight, but I am no longer what I would consider an absolute expert on the game. My tier list has largely gone up in smoke due to a rock, paper, scissors metagame, with rush decks beating negate decks beating grind and some control decks, and grind and control decks beating rush decks. This makes it much harder to place decks in tiers, short of obviously older decks that haven't received real support in several sets being on a much lower section of the tier list. Pretty much everything that is newer has been tier 1 and competitive, making the game in an incredibly solid state. All of the cards that I've bought from set H1 were lost in the mail, though. I've lost my last $130 of purchase cards this way, and I'm honestly feeling pretty done with owning physical cards. This is partially due to needing money for house repairs, but also due to not being able to maintain and keep up with card purchases due to USPS being trashed here. I will probably only be building and maintaining a single deck at a time at this point, once I'm able to sell off my other decks. I'm not sure how good any content I create for Buddyfight will be at this particular point in time. I haven't found any unusual tactics or strategies to implement that are new, and I just haven't had enough time to test. It doesn't help that I haven't produced a lot of my own content either, and more or less I just have Hunter Surge do it for me on his channel. I also haven't been able to focus on the game as much with as many ruling issues that have been flying around for it that I've been trying to help fix. All that added to having too few players to play against on Buddyfight area, it's all mixed together and it's just promoted a lack of content severely. Moving on to Vanguard. I actually did start playing it again last night, and I greatly enjoyed myself, now that Mega Colony is finally tier 1 after all of these years. I also greatly enjoy the build that I'm going to be releasing tonight alongside this video. This would normally be a phase in leading to a phase out after I got bored with Vanguard, but with the Steam greenlight for the official Bushiroad sanctioned card fight online coming out, even someone like me who has quit the game is pretty stoked. People have been asking me for testing results and builds for Mega Colony, so I may even start making some more standard deck lists for the game. Then again, I may not. It's going to depend on if Vanguard's fun factor really stays for me. If I continue to lose interest in Vanguard, I will probably axe it again and not continue to produce content for it. But as things stand right now, I think that the game's in a pretty good spot, and I'm enjoying it. So as long as I'm enjoying it, I'm going to produce content. In closing, I'm starting to realize that I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. I feel like I'm going to shift away from owning physical cards, only owning a few decks for both Vanguard and Buddyfight at a time. This means that I won't always have the best deck and format to be as competitive as I should be, and that I'm essentially forfeiting the title of competitive card gamer, at least in Buddyfight. But that's okay with me. I can still do my part of competitive analysis and helping others to become more competitive, which is pretty much what I've always done anyway. I don't exactly top all of the tournaments, do I? I may start doing Hearthstone content, but I can't for the life of me figure out why anyone would want to see it when individuals like Riparian have already covered every rogue deck under the sun, and I don't actually have enough experience to be anything more than just good at the game. I am going to do Vanguard content again, at least for a short while, and I may stream myself playing Cardfight Online later this year if people want to see that. Buddyfight, I am still playing, but it just takes a lot more effort and time to make a good deck there. For comparison, in Vanguard, I can read all of the new cards in a set and instantaneously produce an optimal deck list. For Buddyfight, I don't have that luxury. It's more tedious and time-consuming. And now with matchups being the biggest factor for the main deck and sideboards, things are really annoying with me coming back from a break with 3 new sets to play through, all of the different matchups happening, and every single archetype that has full recent support being tier 1 requires a lot of testing. I don't think a tier list really makes sense at this particular point in time either, so I don't think I'm going to continue producing tier list videos in the near future. I apologize for the lack of content lately. Thanks for listening.